Hello interioristas, I'm Ash Appleton. Welcome back to An African Eye. This episode is all about art and we're very lucky because today William Ndwiga is going to talk us through how to start collecting, why it matters and what to look out for when you're buying. So keep watching. So William, you're the expert, art consultant, art scout, art curator. Why does art matter? Can you tell us just briefly why is it important to have art in our lives?
Art is packaged either emotions or packaged conversations or packaged intellectual connections. Now, in our lives, those three things are really important because they feel, it's not a void they feel per se, but they feel the who we are, the what we are, our environments, the places we live in, your niche spots.
Suppose you want to start collecting art, but you're not sure what to do, or you're intimidated by maybe issues of costs. How would you advise someone to start collecting art?
I would suggest you start first by looking at these points. One is, why do you want to buy art? That's number one. Number two is you need to acknowledge what you know and what you don't know. That's number two. Number three, of course, is a budget. If you're purely buying art that you love, then my advice is this: start small. Art is not expensive. That is actually a misconception. Art is not necessarily expensive. What is expensive is not knowing what you're buying and why you're buying it. It is possible to start buying art at the very small levels. You're talking about 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Point is this: why are you buying that art? If you're buying that art because it connects with you, there is a lot of that out there. Problem comes is if you start buying art purely just to fill a space for people to see, that's where cliche art comes in. And there's a lot of that in the market. There is, forgive me, but go to most framing shops and furniture shops. There's so much of this from China.
But what is it? What is this cliched art you're talking
about? It is art purely for commercial purposes.
And what does it look like?
From a gallery's point of view, it is art purely for commercial purposes. It is a print that has been done 1,000 times, and it is in every other shop elsewhere. It has no character of its own. You do not even know why that piece was done. You have no connection with the person who did it. You have no connection with their thought processes. It is purely a piece of art to cover a space on a wall.
So maybe you can talk a little bit more about what you're doing now to sort of spread the word in terms of non-cliched art.
One of the things that we've become established in is what is called an afternoon with art. And it is actually...
You said an afternoon?
An afternoon with art. And it is actually usually an afternoon with art in a small circle of friends. And the logic behind it is this. Whenever we used to do shows at galleries, we would get, say, 30 people. If we do shows in non-gallery spaces, spaces that are not so sterile, spaces that can afford and accommodate conversations that are open, there is no feeling of, I don't belong here. Good Lord, am I saying the right things about these pieces of art?
Wow.
When you engage people at that level where you allow them to be themselves and to interact with the pieces more honestly without the need to be politically correct towards the piece, towards the artist,
yes.
When that environment is created, dialogues that are very important ensue. Dialogues like this.
What are the main takeaways in terms of collecting art, buying art,
I think the first thing I would say is that art is not expensive. That's a fallacy.
Art is not expensive?
Art is not expensive. Our mindsets ought to be shifted a little. We need to be able to attach value to art. What we call expensive, if you investigate most people, what they consider is expensive is failure for them to attach value to it.
Failure to attach value?
To art.
Okay.
And the simplest way for them to explain themselves, because they have not even maybe thought about it, is call it expensive. But art is not expensive. The other thing is, if you want to collect art, just like if you want to collect books, you have to be informed about it. You have to know what and why of the buying of it.
You need to know more about it.
Exactly. Let's even not say the word collect. If you want to have pieces of art in your home, it is paramount to know the what and the why.
To educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Okay.
You cannot consume from an ignorant point. It does not matter what it is, be it food, be it medicine, be it entertainment, you must know something about it.
Wonderful. And then?
After that, start questioning the why you are buying.
Why you're buying?
The why are you buying? Why are you buying this art? Do you want to have a piece next to your bed? Do you want to have a piece that you can pass down to your children? The dynamics of those two different things, will determine what kind of art you're buying. If you're buying art with an investment angle to it, that ought to be a much more deliberate decision. And art is an investment option. Make a conscious decision to explore the art landscape.
To explore?
To explore the art landscape. And there are many avenues to see art. You can see art online, you can visit galleries, you can visit pop-ups. Make it a habit to consume art, not necessarily with money, but visually. That's where the journey should start. You must engage with the pieces. And when you engage with the pieces, let that engagement be deliberate. Don't just see and move on. Let it engage with your thoughts, with your heart. Yeah.
I love your last point especially, and I think it's a great point to end on in terms of being deliberate about engaging with art, and not necessarily because you need to buy. And I think the more you engage with it from that point of view, the more your confidence grows.
Yes.
So,
and the more you realize the things that you did not know you didn't know, and now you know, you know them.
So thank you so much again, William. It's been great to have you on the
been beautiful,
on African Eye. And we could go on and on talking about art.
Thank you.
I hope that was helpful. I hope you got some, great information about art and why you need to collect it. Please comment. Let us know in the how you found the show, whether it was useful, informative. Subscribe, share, tell your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.